Hi everyone, Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a Patreon exclusive Faces of Frida hashtag August challenge, having a blast. I do want to say that I spent the weekend down in the San Diego area. My girlfriend and I, Lori, and I went down to the San Diego area to take a workshop from Lindy Trenholm. Very fun. It was at Way Art Yonder studio. Lovely studio, brand new remodeled studio, just gorgeous. Excuse me. And Lindy rang my bell. She does altered books as well. And she taught me some techniques that I am not comfortable with yet. So I'm going to practice them. But you can already see in today's work where she has influenced my work. So it doesn't take much to get it going in a little bit of a different direction. So I hope you enjoy what we've done. I got mostly done with it and I ended up ripping Frida's face off. So, off with her face. But she looks great now. She's had a little facelift, so she looks wonderful. So sticking with the Faces of Frida, spray acrylics and gesso for the background. So quite a challenge. And thank you so much for playing with me. See you on the table. So this is our project for today. I did attend Lindy Trenholm's workshop this past weekend. You'll be able to see where she has influenced me a little bit with the mask here, the silhouette here, the white around the edge, some squigglies in the back, some splatters in the back. So I want to say I had a wonderful time at her workshop. I can't wait to practice some of the things that she suggested that I do. She did ring my bell, and once you ring the bell, you can't unring it. So yeah, it was very, very fun. So in this 2-page spread today, I used just my spray acrylics and my Frida picture, of course, and gesso. And this is the black acrylic paint. This is the silhouette. That's one of the things that she plays with. Not this silhouette, but a silhouette. And I was very attracted to that. So, yep, same supplies as usual. And my lovely, lovely Frida. Morning. Yes, it's dark o'clock here in Vallejo, California. I've got quite a few pages going on. I'm going to save some pages here so I can make another spread. But I'm going to start gluing these to the back of the book. You can see that the book is getting weak. So I'm going to glue all of these to the back of the book. I've had so much fun with this Frida book that I just do not want to stop. But I don't want my book to give out either. So I'm going to create some secret compartments in the front and in the back. And I'll just glue pages down. You do not have to glue them all together because there's going to be a coating of Mod Podge on the edge of the pages, and that will do a lot of the holding down. So I have the pages glued together, probably clumps of like 10 or 20. Really, I just went for it. Then I'll put Mod Podge around the edge of the pages. Then I'll clamp them. Alright, so I have the pages glued. I have Mod Podge around the edge of the pages. I've got it clamped, and we're going to let that dry. I pulled some pages out for another spread here, clamped them out of the way, and I'm going to do the same thing to the front. I'm just going to glue the pages together and clamp it just like I did for the back of the book. Now this book has a dedication page, so I will remove that. And then just go ahead and glue all those together, saving that dedication page. Alright, so I have the front glued and the back glued. Everything's all clamped. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and create a sturdy page here. I have a sturdy page here. I'm going to create one here and let everything all dry. I'm going to go ahead and put underpants on here and on here. So I put some of the acrylic spray, raspberry, in this little palette dish. I'm going to grab some of my gesso on my brush, blend it in there. And just paint down those pages. Still staying true to my spray acrylics and gesso. We're good kids. So I'm going to paint both pages, this one and this one, with the acrylic and the gesso. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the khaki. Put some khaki in there, bring in some gesso on my brush. And just go over that page a little bit with that. And let that dry. And I'm going to bring in some sunshine yellow. And I'm just going to dilute that with some water. And paint over that page. And we will let that dry. Now the three colors I used in the background were sunshine yellow, raspberry, and khaki. So I'm going to stick with those. Bless you! Bless you, Hudson. So I'm going to put some of the raspberry in here, add some water, bring a brush in. This one's a pretty stiff brush. And I'm just going to add some splatters to these two pages and let that dry. Do the same with the khaki, water, splatter. Let it dry. And do the same thing with the sunshine yellow, paint, water, splatter, and let it dry. And I'm just mixing all the colors together. It's going to be a mud color. I just don't want to waste the colors. And I'm going to have it just kind of drip down the page a little bit. And we will let that dry. Now while that's drying, I brought in a stencil of a skull and this gorgeous piece of paper. And I'm just going to trace the skull on the back of this and then cut it out. Alright, I have my image of Frida printed out. I will put her on cardboard. I have the skull cut out, some fun paper. Then I have some tulle here that was gifted to me. I'm just going to sew that onto that skull, just roughly with some black thread. So I have some very rough stitches in the front. I'm just going to tie it off in the back. And that is going to be glued onto her face with her little, that's fun, huh? Alright, it's kind of torn here. I'm okay with that. We'll put some Mod Podge on it. It'll be fine. So I'm going to Mod Podge Frida to a thin piece of cardboard, as we have done consistently through this book. Let her dry, and then cut her out. Now these 2 pages are pretty dry, so I'm going to bring in some sandpaper. Now I have to tell you that I took a workshop from Lindy Trenholm, and this, which I thought was hardy screen, is actually drywall sandpaper, and it is so rough and so wonderful. So I'm going to bring this in and just rough these pages up a little bit. Now this is a copy of a Tim Holtz paper doll. If you are Patreon, I'll send you a copy of that. I'm going to put him on this page, and I'm going to trace him to the best of my ability. Let's see how we did. Oh, we did very, very well. Oh my goodness. Bring in the black acrylic paint and a watercolor brush so that it has kind of a point on it. And I'm going to paint this silhouette. Okay, I have the silhouette painted in with the black acrylic. I'm going to go around the edges with my Stabilo. I am not going to go around the edges of that silhouette. I'm leaving him crisp. Put a couple of doodles in here. So I'm bringing Frida back, and the skull with the little tiara. It's not really a tiara. And I'm going to use tacky glue on this. Now if I were to do this again, I would sew the tiara onto her face with the cardboard because it would be flatter. But we're going to do the best we can with this. Put tacky glue in there on that netting. When the glue dries a little bit on her face, I will put the rice bag on her to keep her flat. Love her. She needs earrings though. So I'm going to pierce her ears with a needle and just put a simple jump ring through her ears. She's pretty magnificent. I'm going to go ahead and put tacky glue on the back of her, lay her on the page, and put the rice bag on top of her. Alright, she's just about dry. I'm going to go around her with the Stabilo, around her and around the edge of the page. And I'm going to bring in a gold Sharpie, and I'm going to make some dots around that mask. And I'm going to edge the features of the mask with gold, with the gold marker. I'm going to take my ruler and make it as flat as I can here and just go from eye to eye with a straight line, kind of like a dotted straight line. And I'm going to bring some of the cocoa in and some water. Form some drips here. So I'm just making some drips and then bringing my brush in and making some squigglies on the page, create some noise. And we'll let that dry. So I really am not happy with the appearance of that. So I'm just going to take her face off. Sorry, Frida. So I cut her out a new head. There's still some cocoa left on this brush, and I'm going to go around the white edge just in case Frida doesn't go all the new Frida doesn't go all the way to the edge. I don't want the white showing. All right, let's glue her down again. Try to put Mod Podge on her. We're going to match her up the best we can and glue her down. I'm not going to worry about those earrings. They are just fine. All right. Welcome back, Frida. I'm going to bring my pen in. And I'm going to make her a mask. I'm going to bring my gesso in and a very tiny paint pen, and I am just going to paint her in a mask. It's going to take a couple coats of gesso, but I'm okay with that. So I just put a bead of gesso on the brush and then guide it along that line. Remember this money piece from Joey Colombo? I cut this out of the center of that beautiful art piece. Well, there's a very fun eye in here that I think I'm going to put on her forehead. Let's get the eye glued down. Now the butterfly. Then there's this very cool something something from the piece. I'm going to cut that out too. So I cut that gorgeous thing out. I'm going to glue that onto her necklace. It kind of goes over the hummingbird. The hummingbird wings come out, which is beautiful. So I'm going to take a little bit of gesso. Bring that around his edge. Make him show up a little bit more. And ta-da! Oh my goodness. All right, your turn. Oh, I don't know if you could follow that or not, but it's an amazing 2-page spread. There it is. Go create. Go play. Go have fun.